welcome back to the channel. It's Duchess. Listen carefully. If you have to abandon yourself for love, it's not love, it's called self-betrayal. That's what they call it, just in case you didn't know. Too many of us lower our standards, silence our needs, and literally forget our own identity for the sake of love. If it was any other way, you wouldn't have to do this, but it's always for someone that doesn't deserve us. Because love, in the face of having to completely change who you are, it's not worth it. It will never be worth it. Put yourself on the pedestal first. Before you date anyone, before you fall for anyone, you need to begin seeing yourself as the priority and not an option. You're not anyone's backup plan, second best, and you're not supposed to be feeling lucky to be chosen. But once you have taken the time to work on yourself and ensure that you are making a good contribution to society at large, you are the prize. You are the standard. I'm talking to my girlies right now. If you know that you're able to bring forth so much energy and life to your relationships, to your partners, to your family, to the point that you are seen as a strong focal point within that dynamic, within that relationship, then how could you not be the prize? If you are the sole reason that your partner finds so much motivation to go to work to improve themselves, to be able to take care of you, then how are you not the prize? I need you to think about that for a second. Until you step into that energy, you will continue meeting people who treat you like less. Self-abandonment begins the moment that you forget your own worth. When it comes to the dating scene, I feel like people can smell desperation, and it's also filled with people that love to see just how much they can get away with. I know this is your boundary, but how close can I teeter to the edge before you draw that line, before you say, this is my boundary, why are you crossing it? We see it on Instagram, we see it with our own family members, where you know that the way your uncle probably treats your aunt is something that you would never accept in your personal relationships, but your aunt seems to be so okay with it and so fine with it, even though everyone else around is like, okay, that's insane, what is that? Your aunt now has to be the one to say, yeah, I'm okay with it, or no, this is crossing my boundaries. I would appreciate it if you stop and do not do that again. However, same way you're able to see what's wrong with that situation, I'm sure the person doing the things in that situation is also seeing what's wrong with it. But in their mind, they want to see just how much they can do before they get told something. Step into the energy of I bring value to wherever I go. I am worthy regardless of whether someone sees my worth or not. I am the prize, I am the standard, and I have so much to give and so much to offer. But I will only share these things with someone that deserves it. It's up to you to decide who deserves it or not by your own standards. Choose someone you don't have to hide from. There's this particular channel that I watch, it's called Us Vaults, and he says something in the midst of him giving advice about these stories, and it's never date someone that you feel like you have to hide your stuffed animals from. My understanding of it is never date someone who you feel like you have to hide yourself from, who you feel like you have to hide your interests, who you have to hide your likes, who you have to hide your emotions. I'm quite an emotional person, and I could say this with my entire chest. I feel things deeply. I could cry just like that. And if I find myself in a situation where I have to pretend like I'm not being affected, I have to pretend that I'm not having fun, I have to pretend that I'm not excited about something, I have to hide that. Let's say, for example, I go out to eat and I have to hide a little happy dance that I do anytime I'm eating good food. That does something up here where you kind of feel like a piece of you is breaking down in order to make another person comfortable. Especially if you're being told by another person that the things that come so naturally to you, the emotions that come so naturally to you, the interests that come so naturally to you is too much for them to handle. They want you to stop. Why can't you just be normal? Why are you being so weird? Never date someone that you have to hide the bits and pieces of you that make you you. Real love doesn't shrink you, it actually expands who you already are. If you are constantly editing yourself to be more lovable, then you are already abandoning your truth. Love should feel like freedom, not a performance. Stand up for yourself without fear. So many people lose themselves in relationships because they are terrified of conflict. And not only in relationship, they lose themselves on a job, they lose themselves on a project, they lose themselves with family members because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to say something and receive a reaction of anger. They'd rather stay silent than risk losing someone. But silence is self-abandonment. Every time you let something slide that cuts you deep, every time you bend your morals to keep the peace, you are betraying yourself. Don't confuse peacekeeping with love. Real love can withstand honesty. Real love honors your boundaries. So the question is, really, do you want to love at the cost of yourself? Or do you want a love that's built with truth, respect, and freedom? Because you cannot have both. So stop abandoning yourself. Start choosing yourself. And the right person will meet you right there. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much, my love, for subscribing. I love you. The eye is important. Bye.